Welcome to round 16 of the F4 U.S. Championship powered by Honda here at the Circuit of the Americas. 26 drivers on the starting grid. On the pole, number 24, Jacob Loomis out of Alpharetta, Georgia, returning to the championship after a couple years absence. Next to him, the number 6 of the points leader, Lochie Hughes out of Gold Coast, Australia. Bryson Morris is in row 2 out of Mount Juliet, Tennessee, next to Noah Ping from Buford, Georgia. In row 3, Ethan Barker out of Houston, Texas, and another Texan, Cole Kleck, out of San Antonio. In row 4, Ryan Shehan out of Horseshoe Bay, Texas, and Gabriel Fonseca from Sao Paulo, Brazil. In row 5, Maxwell Jamieson from Houston, and Titus Sherlock from Prosper, Texas. In row 6, Lucas Fecury from São Luís, Brazil, and Daniel Cara from the Woodlands, Texas. In row 7, Tyke Durst from Cary, North Carolina, and Maite Caceres from Miami, Florida. In row 8, Kory Enders from Austin, Texas, and Jacob Bolen from Leland, Illinois. In row 9, Artie Flores out of León, Mexico, and Carl Bennett out of Yorba Linda, California. Morey IV in row 10 out of Fortville, Indiana, and Brady Golan next to him, making his debut from Austin, Texas. Maddie Aust starts in row 11 out of Mansfield, Texas, and Michael Boyiadzis from Tampa, Florida. Earl Tucker starts in row 12 out of Branford, Connecticut, with Castro out of New York City. And finally in row 13, Alex Berg from Buford, Georgia, and Seth Brown out of San Diego, California. Looks like the field is set as we wait for the light sequence to begin. Here they come. All 5 lights are on. When they go out, we are racing. And they're away. Jacob Loomis gets a good jump. Look at Lochie Hughes diving over next to Bryson Morris. We ride with Bryson Morris as they make the run up the hill toward turn number 1. That's Lochie Hughes just outside. These are the 2 championship combatants as they still stay side by side, working their way through turn number 1, but it looks like everybody gets through that first turn safely as they enter the S's. A high-speed section of the racetrack that the drivers absolutely love. These cars are so much fun to watch through this twisty section. Jacob Loomis at the point. Second place is Lochie Hughes. There's Bryson Morris with Noah Ping just behind him. Alex Berg getting a tremendous start after starting on the last row has already worked his way up through the field as he's battling with the 25 car of Jacob Bolen just in front of him as they get to the top of the hill at turn 9 and then plunge downhill toward turn 11, which is the hairpin that leads onto the longest straightaway on the racetrack. Berg checking his mirrors. He dives down to the inside of Bolen, gets that pass made as he works his way through the apex of turn 11 and begins the plunge down the straightaway. We ride with Noah Ping in the 65 car for Velocity Racing Development. That's Bryson Morris up ahead of him and just in front of Bryson with Lochie Hughes just in front of Bryson. A little lock up there from one of the top 3 as it is still Jacob Loomis at the point as one of the J. Howard cars overcooks the braking there at the end of the straightaway and goes wide at turn 12. We ride with the 18 of Maxwell Jamieson. Just started just inside the top 10. Right in front of him is Cole Kleck on debut this weekend in that number 11 for Crosslink Kiwi. Bryson Morris, his teammate, in the 39 car, still holding on to that 3rd spot with Noah Ping all over him as they work their way into turn 19, heading for the final turn on the racetrack, getting ready to complete race lap number 1. Out in front, Jacob Loomis stretching the advantage now just a bit over the Australian Lochie Hughes, but a great battle behind Bryson Morris and Noah Ping. Ping right on Morris's gearbox as they climb the hill to turn 1. Diving down to the inside there is the 66 of Ryan Shehan as he tries to take over that spot. And now Morris and Ping are side by side as they enter the S's. We ride with Bryson Morris. That's Noah Ping off to his right as they stay side by side. Morris holding him off, but now Ping a little later on the brakes is able to make the move. And now Noah Ping up into 3rd position. That shuffles Bryson Morris back into 4th. Deeper in the pack, Earl Tucker in the number 5 car. He's battling at the moment with the 25 of Jacob Bolen. Tucker moving up from starting in 23rd Now Andre Castro going side by side with his teammate Maite Caceres as Castro takes over that spot, again working his way forward. He started back in row 12. Now accelerating down the long back straightaway as we ride with the Future Star Racing driver. Now with Ethan Barker in the number 12 car for Velocity Racing Development. Drop back one from where he started, currently running into that 6th spot after starting inside of row number 3. Heavy on the brakes down into turn number 12. Jacob Loomis leading from the pole with Lochie Hughes, the Australian, right there in the 2nd spot. Now Noah Ping up to 3rd. We ride with Ping in the stadium section, coming down into turn 15. Tricky left-hander leading on to this long quadruple apex 16, 17, 18 complex. Constantly turning there. You can see the car clipping that right-hand apex. Bryson Morris giving chase now to Noah Ping up in front of him. Into turn 19, the penultimate turn on this racetrack. It's an area where track limits are being monitored very carefully there at turn 19. Onto the front straightaway they come, completing race lap number 2. Loomis, Hughes, and Noah Ping, your top 3. Bryson Morris, and right behind him, Ryan Shehan coming up from his 7th place starting position. As they're heavy on the brakes into turn number 1. Bryson Morris trying to retake that 3rd spot from Noah Ping. Right again with Alex Berg as he continues his charge up through the field. And there's Andre Castro in the number 8 right next to him. They touch wheels as they work their way out of turn 2 and into the S's. Castro is still there off to the left. Finally has to give ground as Alex Berg takes over the spot. Those two drivers starting on the last 2 rows, working their way up through the field. We ride with Castro now. That's Berg out in front of him as they make their way to the top of the hill there at turn 9 and then plunge down through turn 10 into the hairpin here at turn 11. Ryan Shehan in the 66 car, currently in the 5th spot. Up a couple spots from where he qualified. Losing touch just a bit with the 4 cars in front of him. Checking his mirrors is Gabriel Fonseca in the 76, the Brazilian for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsports. Driving down into the heavy braking zone at turn number 12. Top 4 beginning to separate themselves from Ryan Shehan in kind of a lonely 5th spot right now. Behind them, the 12 of Ethan Barker and the 76 of Gabriel Fonseca as this battle between Alex Berg and Andre Castro continues. We ride with Castro. He and Berg working their way through turn 13 and 14 down into 15. Berg going side by side trying to make a move. Just in front of him, the 55 car of Lucas Fecury, weaving back and forth. There's the 17 being passed, Tyke Durst. As now Andre Castro just in front of him. Tyke Durst in the 17 car for Ganella Racing. As they work their way through turn 19, going just a little bit wide as the leaders cross the stripe to complete yet another racing lap. Diving down to the inside is Bryson Morris as he goes side by side with Noah Ping. Morris trying to retake that 3rd spot. He's got a nose ahead at the moment, but does he go too wide exiting turn number 1? That allows Ping to get right back alongside. We ride with Bryson Morris. That's Ping off to his left as they continue their side-by-side battle. Ping with a little more momentum through the S's is able to retake 3rd spot, but Morris throwing everything he has at that battle to try to get back up on the podium. As they work their way through the S's, we ride with Cole Kleck as he chases Maxwell Jamieson, battling for 8th and 9th. As they make their way through the S's, right to the top of the hill there at turn 9. World drops away as they plunge down through turn 10. And once again, into the hairpin, the most important turn on the racetrack, because it leads onto that long back straightaway. Jamieson holding off Kleck on debut here with us. Looking forward to a full season next year. Noah Ping once again now in 3rd spot, all over the back of Lochie Hughes as they head down the straightaway. The best passing opportunity is right here at turn 12. And Ping is going to send it down inside Lochie Hughes, and he gets the job done. Noah Ping up to second, chasing his teammate Jacob Loomis. Lochie Hughes goes a little wide and opens the door for Bryson Morris to try to take over that spot from him. There's the battle just behind that we were following with Maxwell Jamieson and the 11 of Cole Kleck. We ride now with Tyke Durst as he's chasing the number 10 of Daniel Cara as they head down out of the stadium section into turn 15. Durst trying to go the long way around of Cara, and he gets a good run. Cara has to pinch it off just a bit, and that allows Durst to make that pass up into the top 15. And he's got more in front of him as he tries to make the move on the 55 car of Lucas Fecury, the Brazilian. Fecury, though, throws a bit of a block. Durst has to stay behind. Meanwhile, at the front, the battle for third is a good one between Lochie Hughes and the 39 of Bryson Morris. Hughes pulls to the inside to block as Morris trying to retake that position. Hughes goes a little wide, kind of a replay of what we saw earlier on between Morris and Ping. Now Morris on the outside, Hughes to his right. Hughes with a wheel ahead, but Morris hanging tough. Hughes giving him racing room as they finally sort it out. Hughes takes the position back into third spot. Bryson Morris looking for a way back onto the podium. Now we drop back to Ryan Shehan just behind that battle. As you can see, Morris just in front, Lochie Hughes just in front of him. Meanwhile, the two Velocity teammates beginning to get away just a bit from this battle for the final step on the podium. Down into turn number 11. Late on the brakes is Shehan, but not late enough to make a move on his teammate just in front. We ride once again with Cole Kleck, Maxwell Jamieson just in front of him. This battle for 8th and 9th has been raging in the early laps here. Jamieson with the advantage. Kleck giving chase as they head down the long straightaway. You can see the giant Texas flag off to the left as they work down toward turn 12. The lead duo stretching the advantage, but the battle for third is a dandy. A three-way battle. Hughes with the position, but Bryson Morris and his teammate Ryan Shehan going after it as they work their way through the stadium section. Morris dives to the inside there at turn 15. Hughes goes a little wide. They both go off track, and that opens the door for Ryan Shehan to try to take them both. He is right on their gearbox through the quadruple apex right-hander at 16, 17, and 18. A little downhill plunge to turn 19, a very high-speed sweeper as they work their way through and head toward the final turn on the racetrack. What a great battle for third spot. Meanwhile, the two Velocity teammates drawing away at the front. But Lochie Hughes, Bryson Morris, Ryan Shehan giving chase. Not far back is the 12 of Ethan Barker. But this battle for third continues to rage. Lochie Hughes once again down to the inside trying to block that passing maneuver. Bryson Morris, though, tries the switchback as they exit turn 1. You get a bird's eye view from the seat of Ryan Shehan as those two go side by side, nearly touching. Shehan has designs on that fourth spot, but then falls back behind his teammate as they work their way through the S's once again. Couldn't be closer, these three, as they work their way toward turn number 8, climbing up the hill. Turn 9, and then the plunge down toward the little left-hander at turn 10, heading toward the hairpin. We move forward to Bryson Morris in the middle of this three-car battle. He thinks about giving a move to Lochie Hughes. Tries to go to the inside. That may compromise Hughes' exit on this very important straightaway. Bryson Morris has a good run. He tucks right into the draft. Hughes forces him wide off the track as Hughes trying to block that inside line, but Morris getting a good run down toward turn number 12. It's a braking duel, but it looks like Bryson Morris gets the job done, but he's too late on the brakes as he goes wide, but still manages to hang on to that position. Lochie Hughes and Ryan Shehan now right behind him, so Morris up into the third spot. Morris guarding that inside line as they head down toward turn 15. Hughes dives to the inside. They might have touched there as Hughes trying to retake that position. Morris goes wide once again as Hughes now has to watch to his right as Ryan Shehan trying to take over that position. Shehan to the inside once again. Very close racing as they come down into turn number 19. Morris in front of Hughes, in front of Shehan, with whom we ride toward turn number 20 and onto the front straightaway one more time. Bryson Morris guarding that inside line, weaving just a bit, trying to break the draft. Now Ethan Barker has joined the party to make it a four-way battle for the third spot. Shehan guards that inside line as Morris and Hughes work their way through in third and fourth respectively, but Barker looking racy. We ride with him right now, and that's Ryan Shehan just in front of him. As the leaders, Jacob Loomis and Noah Ping, disappear through the S's, and then this great four-way battle for the final step on the podium. Gabriel Fonseca just behind them as we ride with Ethan Barker in the sixth spot. Barker qualified fifth, dropped back one at the start, and he has stayed right there and is now making a bid to get back up to where he qualified as they head down into the hairpin one more time. Barker goes just a little bit wide. Fonseca, the Brazilian, will be right in his mirrors. We move forward to Ryan Shehan as he checks his mirrors, seeing Ethan Barker right there. Meanwhile, up in front of him, Bryson Morris guarding the inside as they make the run down toward turn 12. Lochie Hughes not able to make the pass as they come off that turn. Head up toward turn 13 in the stadium section. Ethan Barker all over the back of Ryan Shehan as they plunge down out of the stadium section toward turn 15. Once again, Bryson Morris driving defensively up in front, and that has allowed Lochie Hughes to get right on his gearbox as they work their way up into the horseshoe section. Side-by-side battling, two cars up in front. Lochie Hughes and Bryson Morris down into turn number 19. Hughes to the inside. Morris goes wide, way off the track as he tries to get back on in front of Lochie Hughes and manages to do that. Meanwhile, Hughes coming under pressure from Ryan Shehan as Hughes goes a little wide on the final turn. Three wide as they make their way down the straightaway. It is Bryson Morris, then Lochie Hughes, and now Ethan Barker side by side with Ryan Shehan in the battle for fifth. Shehan a little later on the brakes, but Barker might have the run down out of turn number 1. Shehan able to hang on to that spot. Ethan Barker looking for a way around as they work their way through the S's one more time. Ethan Barker looking for any advantage to try to move up around Ryan Shehan. We move forward to our second place runner, Noah Ping. You can see his teammate Jacob Loomis there in front of him. Ping goes a little wide there at turn 9, but gathers it back up, heading down toward the hairpin turn. As Jacob Loomis, leading from the pole, has not been headed. We ride back with Ryan Shehan in that 5th position with the perennial combatants. Lochie Hughes just in front of him. Just in front of him is Bryson Morris. Down the straightaway they come. Morris weaving, trying to break the draft. And we go back one spot to Ethan Barker as this 4-car battle has been one of the best on the racetrack all race long. As they come down into turn number 12, Hughes around the outside of Bryson Morris, still side by side as Morris fights back into the stadium section. We ride with Bryson Morris. There's Lochie Hughes in the 6th, taking over that 3rd spot once again as they dive down toward turn 15. Hughes guarding that inside line. Morris right on his gearbox as they accelerate up out of turn 15 and into the quadruple right-hander. The final step on the podium is what these two are battling for. Down into turn 19. As these These drivers coming to the white flag, indicating 1 lap remaining into turn 20 for the penultimate time. White flag waving as this battle continues. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all in a bunch. Lochie Hughes with the position, checking his mirrors. Making it 3 wide now is Ryan Shehan as they dive into turn number 1. Bryson Morris on the outside. Hughes goes a little bit wide. Morris has to go with him. Looks like Ethan Barker now side by side with Ryan Shehan as this quartet continues their battle on the final lap. Shehan able to get a nose back in front, but it is now Lochie Hughes with that 3rd spot. Bryson Morris right on his gearbox. We ride with Bryson Morris. There's Hughes up in front as they come up into turn number 8. Now at the top of the hill, turn 9, the first of 2 left-handers. Morris goes a little wide. Heading down through turn 10 into the hairpin for the final time. Morris not quite close enough to try it now, but if he gets a good run off of this one, he might be able to make a pass down at the end of the straightaway at turn 12. Meanwhile, up in front, Noah Ping with Jacob Loomis trying to disappear into the distance. Late braking down into turn number 12. Loomis goes a little bit too deep, and that allows Noah Ping to close right up on his gearbox. This one's not over yet. Jacob Loomis has led from the start. Now he's coming under pressure from Ping as Loomis gets a little squirrely. Meanwhile, in the battle for 3rd, looks like Bryson Morris has gotten back around Lochie Hughes as we ride with Ryan Shehan. He tries to go down inside Lochie Hughes. They touch. Hughes spins off at turn 15. That opens the door for Ethan Barker to take over the spot. Ryan Shehan shaking his head, realizing that the stewards are going to have a look at that move as they work their way through the quadruple apex right-hander for the final time. As we ride with the new leader, Noah Ping, after his teammate got a little squirrely working his way through the stadium section, Ping picks up the pieces and takes the checkered flag. Jacob Loomis across in 2nd. 3rd place goes to Bryson Morris. Ethan Barker in 4th. Ryan Shehan in the 5th spot. Lochie Hughes comes across in 6th. Right behind him is Cole Kleck in the number 11. Right at the tail end of the top 20, we ride with Earl Tucker. His teammate just in front, Al Morey. And just in front of Al is Brady Golan on debut as they head down into turn 20 on the final lap. Tucker thinks about making a move, but can't quite seal the deal, and that's how they'll finish as they come across the stripe. Michael Boyiadzis sees the checkered flag. And the final car on the lead lap, Maddie Aust, the last to see the checkers. Here are the official results, and as you can see, penalties were assessed to Bryson Morris and Ryan Shehan.
Noah, how was it for you out there?
Pretty good. I got a good teammate, that's all I can say. I mean, he really won this race, but luckily I'm back in this championship. I got told Lochie finished 6th, so he needed to finish 5th or worse in every single race. So we still got hope, and I got a great teammate. He might have made a mistake, I don't know. We'll see in the meeting, but I'm sure he didn't. He's a great guy. I love him. So I want to thank Jacob Loomis. So and the team, the VRD boys. Our cars are quick here for sure. So we'll go race 2 and race 3 and see what happens. All we can do is do our best.